Let's look back at Redditch, a place of significant importance in Royal Enfield's 120-year history. The Enfield Cycle Company Limited, the makers of Royal Enfield motorcycles, was founded here. Redditch is a small town with a great manufacturing history and was prominent in the British motorcycle industry. The first Royal Enfield motorcycles were built here in 1901. They proudly carried the tag, "Made like a gun." So do all our motorcycles. They've been purposefully built to last. From 1901 to 2021, 120 years of building beautiful, fun-to-ride motorcycles that are authentic, timeless classics.
Hello everyone, lovely to meet you all virtually again. This year is Royal Enfield's 120th anniversary. Over the last 120 years, Royal Enfield has embodied the spirit of pure motorcycling. We've been able to give that spirit to people around the world for so many years now, and we've embodied the idea of timeless, unhurried, uncomplicated motorcycles like this one here. In the last 120 years, we've also had a number of iconic motorcycles that have inspired us for our current generation of motorcycles. Hi Mark.
Hi Sid, how you doing?
How are you doing?
Good, thanks.
Right here is a 1950s G2 motorcycle, which was the first bullet motorcycle, as it were. Was it?
So this was the G2. So it wasn't the first bullet. There were the bullet name was used from the 1930s onwards, but this was the G2 that came post-war, and this was a seminal. It was a groundbreaking motorcycle. So obviously during the war, the company were busy making motorcycles for the war effort and for the armed forces. But straight after the war, the competition team, a little sort of secret squirrel team in the competition department, started working on an idea for a motorcycle with an articulating swinging arm. So up until that point, all motorcycles didn't really have any suspension. Obviously the wheels and tyres and things like the seat springs, but other than that, some had a girder front end, but mostly they were a hard tail at the back. They didn't have any rear end suspension at all. And you can see they took this hardtail shape, so this frame shape that runs down here, and you can kind of see that's almost like the old, this would have come down to the axle, and they kind of just lifted it up and they put this telescopic rear suspension unit in, as we would call it today, and it transformed the motorcycle. It made it it just made for trials and off-road riding competitions. It made it.
This was for the ISTD, wasn't it?
This was for competitions like the International 6-Day Trial, which was kind of like the Olympics of motorcycling. This was like a 6-day event over the roughest, most horrendous terrain you can possibly imagine, and it was an endurance event for man and machine.
Right, and the ruggedness and the sturdiness of this motorcycle is what inspired the Indian Army to place an order on Royal Enfield as well in the 50s, right? And that's where the history comes from. That's where the Indian side of Royal Enfield comes from. Yeah.
So obviously, it started as an order. I think it was something like 500 or 600 motorcycles were placed as an initial order.
So Mark, from the G2 to the 2008 modern classic. I remember when this was launched in 2008 at Intermot, it was quite a big event for us, and it had all the right things. It was reliable, it did the job really well, it had the gorgeous sound, the amazing look, all of that. So the engine was there, and then we had the Bullet in it, and then we said, look, why don't we do an export version of the Bullet as well? And you were inspired by that lovely G2, and it's a modern machine really in the underpinnings when it came out in 2008.
Absolutely, yeah. So I mean, obviously this was the classic 500, which had a full EFI system on it, which was something that was new for Royal Enfield at that point.
First in India for fuel injection for a production motorcycle in India, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. Front disc brakes, so obviously, the braking capability on a motorcycle like this, would be far better than the old 1950s drum brake. And I think what I really like about these is you can tell that they were hand pattern made. So somebody had obviously taken a block of wood and they'd carved the form out and they'd created those smooth shapes. And we tried to capture that in this bike. So, on both of the covers and the way that the thinning on the cylinder head runs down into the crankcases, and it just gives it that very classic look and feel.
It does. It absolutely does. And yeah, these were really resilient machines. I mean, they went all over the country. They went all over the world. They've done so superbly well over the years. And yeah, it all came from one plant in India at that time, which was Tiruvuttur, which was our home. And that's where we started engineering these motorcycles, building these motorcycles. And that was the only place in India that was Royal Enfield. And from that humble beginning in India, really, we've come a long way to technical centers in UK, and currently with Govind Rajan out in Vallambaragal, our most modern plant at Royal Enfield.
From Tiruvuttur to Vallambaragal, standing here at our latest, most advanced manufacturing facility. With the growing global demand for the Classic, we needed to increase our capacities. Production and quality processes took a huge leap forward with the opening of our second plant after Tiruvuttur at Oragadam in 2013. And then with this world-class facility at Vallambaragal in 2017, these facilities combined with our two world-class technology centers in Chennai, India and in Brentingthorpe, UK, employ modern-day technology and infrastructure to manufacture motorcycles. But still, we take pride in our motorcycles being handcrafted as we build each motorcycle with a love. Between this facility at Vallam, TVT and Oragadam, we manufacture all the Royal Enfields that are sold anywhere across the globe. The Classic 2 is manufactured in this very facility. Since launch, Classic has grown from strength to strength and gained popularity globally. Reason being, the simplicity of its design, easy rideability, easy customization and for self-expression of individuals. Above all, the pride of ownership by our consumers. Over the years, the Classic has seen many colorways, many inspirations: Classic Chrome, Battle Green, Desert Storm, Reddit Series, Gunmetal and Stealth Black, as well as an inspiration from our association with the armed forces, the Pegasus and the Classic Signals. Over the last 12 years, the Classic has grown multifold both in sales as well as in the inspiration among the consumers. Today, there are more than 3 million Royal Enfield Classics that are ridden around the world by proud owners who are not just motorcyclists and riding enthusiasts, but come from a varied cross-section of the society, people like you and me. It has a certain global appeal that cuts across generations, geographies, and genders. The Classic loyal consumer community grew significantly over the years. The motorcycle has become a key element of their personality and a means for self-expression for them. The rides, adventures, and the journeys they have had on their Classic have been an inspiration for many and for us too. In short, the Classic became aspirational, a community that everyone wanted to be part of. Today, the Royal Enfield Classic is sold across more than 75 countries across the globe. The success of the Classic has fueled the growth and the expansion of Royal Enfield all over the globe. Just 12 years old and Classic has already become a legend.
Today, we bring you one such motorcycle. This motorcycle is truly reborn. It connects with all the senses and heightens all the pleasures of riding a motorcycle. The all-new Classic 350. I'm really proud to present to you the all-new Classic 350. Here she is. It's really, really gorgeous. It's been many years of hard work to come out with this motorcycle. And I've been sneakily riding this very motorcycle around the roads of London and been getting amazing looks from people, and people have been asking me about it, but of course people don't realize here what it's all about. It's been spectacular.
The all-new Classic is absolutely fun to ride. The design, the engine, and the riding ergonomics, it all comes together beautifully. The motorcycle feels solid, well-made, and capable of taking on any ride with ease. And finally, the engine with the familiar Royal Enfield thump. It's the same Royal Enfield Classic in form and factor and at heart, but with the underpinnings of an absolutely modern motorcycle. We'll have 5 unique and exciting editions and 11 colorways. The Classic Reddish series in 2 colorways, single tank color and blacked out components. The Halcyon series that reflects the 1950s look and feel, celebrating the glorious past. Paying tribute to our strong 50+ years association with the Indian Armed Forces, there will be Classic Signal series in 2 colorways with stenciled in unique numbers on each motorcycle. The Classic Dark series, a youthful, urban and a custom take in 2 distinct colorways with tubeless tires and alloys. And finally, the Classic Chrome, a premium version with badges and graphics and a unique retro look. In addition to having built a great motorcycle, we have built a strong digital infrastructure to enable greater accessibility for consumers. While the Royal Enfield app will continue to support you through your discovery and purchase journey, your service-related requirements, etc., the Make It Yours module also will continue to fuel the passion for motorcycling. More than 35 bespoke accessories for the Classic tested, developed and homologated alongside the motorcycle will be available via MIY.